Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English Today journey. Make sure to subscribe because we share helpful tips every day to improve your English. Today, we are starting something very special. This lesson is for anyone who is learning English at the A2 level and also for anyone who wants to learn faster, practice listening in a smart way, and feel more confident when hearing English around them. I know that listening can sometimes feel like the hardest part of learning English. Reading gives you time. You can look at a word or sentence and think. Writing lets you take your time and choose your words. Speaking lets you go at your own pace. But listening feels different. When someone speaks quickly in English, it can feel like everything is moving fast. You may think you must understand every word immediately. If you miss one word, you might feel lost. That is normal. Everyone feels this way at first. And this is exactly why we are here today, to build not only listening skills but also a system to help you learn English clearly and quickly. Think about watching a movie in English. The characters are talking, music is playing, and things are happening fast. You might not understand every word. Maybe you feel, my English is not good enough. But listen carefully. Learning to listen is not about understanding every single word. Listening is about understanding the main idea, the message, and the feeling behind what someone is saying. Even in your own language, you do not catch every sound when someone speaks quickly. But you still understand the meaning. English is the same. You don't need to understand every word to understand what is happening. So today, I want you to relax. Take a deep breath. Sit comfortably and tell yourself, I can learn. I can listen. I will get better step by step. This lesson is different because I want you to participate actively. Don't just sit and watch. Repeat after me when I ask you. Pause the video if you need more time. Imagine we are in the same classroom. I speak and you answer me. That is how this lesson works. Let's start very simple. Listen carefully. Hello. How are you today? This is a very basic question, but it is important. Now, I want you to listen again and repeat after me. Say it slowly. Hello. How are you today?
Great.
Now, try to say it a little faster, just like in real life. Don't worry if you don't get it perfectly at first. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Remember, the goal is to understand the message and feel confident when using English. Listening is a skill you can improve step by step. It is okay if you miss words sometimes. What matters is that you understand the meaning and can follow the conversation. Every time you practice, you are improving. The key is to be patient and consistent. Use your eyes, ears, and voice together. Listen, repeat, and speak. Make it fun. Pretend you are talking with a friend. Ask and answer questions. This way, English will become natural for you. By practicing in this way, you're not only learning English words and phrases, but also learning how to think in English. You are training your brain to understand messages quickly, like a real conversation. This will help you feel more confident when watching movies, listening to songs, or talking to people in English. So, are you ready? Let's enjoy this journey together. Repeat after me, speak out loud, and have fun. With every lesson, you will understand a little more and feel a little more confident. Listening is not about being perfect. It is about learning and growing every day. Let's start together, and step by step, you will see how much you improve. Hello again. Let's continue our listening practice. Listen carefully. Hello. How are you today? Very good. Even a small sentence like this has a rhythm, stress, and intonation. When you listen in English, don't just focus on the meaning of the words. Pay attention to the music of the language. English has a rhythm, almost like a song. Some words are louder or stronger. These are stressed words. Other words are softer or weaker. This rhythm and stress help your brain understand what is important. Think about real-life situations. Imagine you are in a shop and the shopkeeper asks, "Do you need a bag?" Maybe you don't hear the word bag. You could feel confused. But if you listen for the most important words, like do you need bag, your brain can figure out the missing word. This is called listening for the main idea, or listening for gist. It's more important to understand the idea than every single word. In this series, we will practice this skill again and again. Another important thing is repetition. Don't be afraid to listen to the same words or sentences many times. Children learn their first language because they hear the same words thousands of times. If you hear "thank you" 100 times, eventually your brain knows it automatically. You don't need to translate anymore. This is how we will train your listening today. Now, let's try a short listening exercise. I will say 3 sentences. Listen carefully. Then I will ask a simple question. Ready? Here we go. I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. Question. What time do I wake up? The answer is 7 o'clock. See? You only needed to catch one detail to answer the question. That is how listening practice works. Little by little, your brain learns to pick out the important information. Let's try another example. Listen. She likes coffee. She doesn't like tea. She drinks coffee every morning. Question. Does she like tea? No, she doesn't.
Great.
You got it. This is how you build confidence. Each small success trains your ear, and over time your listening becomes sharper. Now, let's talk about building your own listening routine. Even if you are busy, you can practice every day for 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't need to be long. The secret is consistency. Every day, listen to something in English. A short podcast, a children's story, a YouTube video, or even a short conversation. The key is to make it a habit. Small, regular practice is much more effective than trying to learn a lot all at once. When you listen, try to notice rhythm and stress, not just the words. Repeat sentences out loud when you can. Pause and rewind if needed. Pretend you are speaking with the person who is talking. This makes listening more active and fun. Over time, your brain will begin to understand English naturally, without translating. You will start to catch the main ideas and even some details, and your confidence will grow. Remember, listening is a skill you can train. Focus on the main idea, listen for important words, repeat sentences, and practice every day. Step by step, you will notice your listening improving, your ear getting sharper, and your confidence growing. Soon, listening to English will feel easier and more natural. Keep practicing and enjoy the process. Don't worry if you don't understand everything when you listen to English. Your goal is not to translate every word into your language. Your goal is to let your ears enjoy the sounds of English. If you do this every day, your listening will improve naturally. When you listen, don't be passive. Don't just sit quietly like a stone. Be active. Try writing down 2 or 3 words you hear. Say them out loud. Pause the audio. Repeat the sentences yourself. This kind of active practice makes a big difference. Listening is not just hearing, it's training your brain. Think about it like sport. If you want strong muscles, you go to the gym and lift weights again and again. At first, it feels hard. The weights are heavy. But after practice, it becomes easier. Listening works the same way. At first, your brain may say, too fast, too hard. But after regular practice, your brain begins to recognize the sounds and rhythms of English. That is how your listening grows. Now, let's do a longer listening exercise. I will tell you a short story slowly. Listen carefully. Afterward, I will ask you some questions. Here is the story. Yesterday, I went to the park. The sun was shining. Children were playing football. A family was having a picnic. I sat on a bench and read a book. After 1 hour, I went home. Now the questions. Where did I go yesterday? Yes, I went to the park. What were the children doing? They were playing football. What did I do on the bench? I read a book. How long did I stay? 1 hour. What did I do after the park? I went home.
You see?
You just understood a story. That is success. Every time you listen to a story, your brain is learning patterns. Words like yesterday, went, played, read, these are past tense forms. Right now, you don't need grammar books. You just need to notice these patterns while listening. This is natural learning. Your brain starts to recognize how English works without translating. Here's another tip. Use subtitles when you watch something in English. First, listen while reading English subtitles. Then, watch it again without subtitles. This helps your brain connect the sounds to the words, and it strengthens listening comprehension. Over time, you'll start to recognize words and patterns automatically. Remember, listening is a skill you can train like a muscle. Be patient, practice every day, and use active techniques like repeating sentences, writing words, and answering questions. Little by little, your listening will become sharper. You will notice that stories, conversations, and videos become easier to understand. Your confidence will grow, and English will start to feel natural. The key points are: listen every day, focus on important words, repeat out loud, notice patterns, and enjoy the sounds of English. Step by step, your ear will get sharper, your brain will recognize rhythms, and your listening will improve. Keep practicing, and each day you will understand a little more. Listening is not magic, it's regular practice, patience, and active learning. Now, let's relax for a moment. Listening is not just hard work, it can be fun. If you enjoy music, pick a simple English song, one with repeating words or phrases. Listen to it many times. Sing along. This is a very powerful way to train your ears. If you like movies, choose an easy one. Watch one scene again and again. Each time, you will notice new words, sounds, or expressions. Learning English is not punishment. It can be enjoyable and joyful. Before we finish this part, let's practice one more short dialogue. I will play both roles. Listen carefully. A. Good morning. Can I help you? B. Yes, I want a cup of coffee, please. A. Sure. Do you want milk or sugar? B. Milk, please. No sugar. A. Here you are. B. Thank you. A. You're welcome. Now, a simple question. What did the customer want? A cup of coffee. Did the customer want sugar? No, only milk. This is how you train your listening for real-life situations. Small dialogues like this help you understand English in daily life. In this first part of our journey, we have learned how to relax while listening, how to listen for the main idea or gist, how to repeat and practice actively, how to use short exercises to build confidence. Remember, your ears are like muscles. You need to train them gently but regularly. If you listen every day, little by little your ears will become stronger and you will understand more. Now, we will take a step further into the world of real English, the way people really speak. You already know that English in a classroom is slow and clear. But in real life, people speak quickly. They connect words, use reductions, and make sentences flow together. This is called connected speech. For example, if you only study words one by one like going to, wanna, let me, it can be confusing when someone says them quickly. You might hear going to as gonna, wanna as wanna, or let me almost like lemmy. At first, it can sound strange, but don't worry, we will practice this together. Let's start simple. The phrase going to often sounds shorter in real speech. For example, I'm going to eat lunch usually sounds like I'm gonna eat lunch. Notice how the words connect and the rhythm changes. Don't try to understand every single word at first. Focus on the sound, the flow, and the meaning. Listening to connected speech may feel strange at first, but with practice, your brain will recognize these patterns naturally. In real English, rhythm, stress, and connected sounds are very important. That's why listening daily, singing along, repeating sentences, and practicing dialogues are so effective. You are training your ears to hear English like a native speaker does. Over time, you will understand faster, feel more confident, and enjoy listening to songs, movies, and conversations. Step by step, with active practice and daily listening, your English ear will improve. Remember, learning English is not about being perfect. It's about training your brain, enjoying the sounds, and practicing little by little. You are already on the right path. Now, let's practice listening to English as it is really spoken. Sometimes, words change or shorten in fast speech. If you learn these small changes, called reductions, your ear will understand real English more easily. Let's start with going to. Slowly, you say, I'm going to eat lunch. Now listen at normal speed. I'm going to eat lunch. Do you hear the difference?
Great.
Repeat after me. I'm going to eat lunch.
Perfect.
When you recognize these reductions, you won't feel lost when native speakers use them. Next example, want to. Carefully, we say, I want to go home. In daily speech, it often sounds like, I want to go home. Listen carefully. I want to go home. Now repeat after me. I want to go home. Well done. One more. Let me. In textbooks, you read, let me help you. In fast speech, people say, let me help you. Listen slowly. Let me help you. Now fast. Let me help you. Repeat. Let me help you. Excellent. These small details make a big difference. They're like keys that open doors for understanding real English. Now, let's do a listening activity using these reductions. I will say 3 sentences quickly. Try to catch the meaning. I'm going to watch a movie tonight. Do you want to come with me? Let me check my phone. Questions. What will I do tonight? I'm going to watch a movie. What did I ask you? Do you want to come with me? What did I say about my phone? Let me check my phone. Great job. You are training your ear to understand real English. Now, let's look at another feature. Linking. In English, words often connect together. For example, turn off sounds like turn off, and pick it up sounds like pike up. Listen. Can you pick it up? Do you hear how the words connect? Repeat after me. Can you pick it up? Excellent. Here's a short dialogue with linking. A. What are you doing? B. I'm reading a book. A. Can I look at it?
B. Sure. Take it.
Did you notice how the words join together? Look at it becomes smoother, and take it sounds connected. This is linking. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to recognize. The key is daily practice. Listen, repeat, and pay attention to rhythm, stress, reductions, and linking. These small patterns will help you understand real conversations, songs, and movies. Little by little, your ear will get sharper, and English will feel natural. Now, let's practice with a longer listening passage. Listen carefully and try to catch the main ideas. Remember, focus on meaning, notice reductions, and pay attention to how words link. Each time you practice, your brain becomes faster at recognizing real English. Over time, listening will feel easier, more natural, and even fun. Step by step, your confidence will grow, your ear will become sharper, and you will understand more of real English. The secret is consistency, patience, and active listening. Keep practicing, repeat what you hear, and enjoy the process. You are training your brain to hear English like a native speaker. Now we will practice listening at a natural speed. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Your goal is to catch the main idea, not every single word. Here is the passage. Last weekend, I went shopping with my friend. We wanted to buy new shoes. The shop was very crowded, so we waited for a long time. Finally, we found 2 pairs of shoes that we liked. My friend bought black shoes, and I bought white ones. After shopping, we were tired, so we sat in a cafe and drank coffee. We talked for 2 hours about school, work, and future plans. Now, let's answer some questions. Where did we go last weekend?
Shopping.
What did we want to buy? Shoes. What color shoes did my friend buy? Black. What did I buy? White shoes. Where did we go after shopping? To a cafe. How long did we talk? 2 hours.
Great.
Even though I spoke at natural speed, you could still catch the important details. That is real progress. Now, how can you practice listening at natural speed outside this video? Here's a simple trick. Choose a short audio. 30 seconds to 1 minute works well. First, Listen without subtitles or text. Try to understand the topic. Listen again with subtitles or a transcript if available. Notice the words you missed the first time. Listen a third time without reading and see if you can catch more this time. This three-step method is very powerful. It trains your ears, eyes, and memory together and gradually helps you understand English naturally. Another important tip for A2 learners is building vocabulary through listening. If you only study word lists, you will forget them quickly. But if you hear words inside stories, songs, or conversations, they stay in your brain. Let's try this together. Listen to these sentences. The dog is barking loudly. The children are laughing happily. The phone is ringing again. Now, which words tell us the actions? Barking, laughing, ringing. Next, imagine them in your mind. Picture the dog going woof woof, barking. Picture children playing and laughing happily. Hear the phone ringing. This visualization helps your brain remember new words faster. When you practice listening like this, your brain begins to connect sounds to meaning. You start noticing patterns, action words, and expressions naturally. Over time, you'll catch more details and understand English faster, even at normal speed. Remember, listening is a skill that grows gradually. Use short stories, songs, and everyday conversations. Listen repeatedly, notice new words, repeat them aloud, and imagine the actions. Step by step, your brain becomes trained to recognize English sounds and meanings automatically. Even small daily practice, just 10 to 15 minutes, will make a difference. Your vocabulary will grow, your ear will become sharper, and understanding English at natural speed will feel easier and more enjoyable. By practicing actively, noticing rhythms, reductions, linking, and main ideas, you're building strong listening muscles. Keep practicing every day, have fun with stories and songs, and soon listening will feel natural, easy, and enjoyable.
Haha.
Let's laugh a little. Phones ring, training sounds beep. These are all sounds we notice every day. Did you know that when you imagine a sound or picture in your mind, the word becomes stronger in your brain? That's why listening and learning new words go together. Today, we will do a mini story exercise to practice both listening and vocabulary. Listen carefully. Maria is from Spain. She is learning English because she wants to travel. Every day, she listens to podcasts on her phone. She also watches English movies with subtitles so she can read and hear at the same time. Sometimes she practices speaking with her friend online. Maria knows that listening in English can be hard, but she is patient. She practices little by little, and she is getting better step by step. Now, let's check what we remember. Where is Maria from?
Spain.
Why is she learning English? Because she wants to travel. What does she listen to every day?
Podcasts. What does she
Watch. Movies with subtitles. Who does she practice with? Her friend online. Is she patient? Yes, she is. Excellent. This story is not just for practice. It also gives advice. Maria is an example for all of us. Listening is very important, but it is not just about learning words. Listening is also about understanding culture. When you hear English, you are not only hearing sounds, you are also learning how people live, how they think, and what they value. For example, if someone says, "How's it going?" they are not really asking for your life story. It is just a friendly greeting. If you give too much detail, it can feel strange. So, when you listen, pay attention to the cultural meaning behind words. Now, let's do a small role play. Imagine we meet for the first time. I say, "Hi, how's it going?" You can answer, "Good, thanks." And you? That is all, simple, natural, and friendly. Practice the rhythm. "Hi, how's it going?" "Good, thanks." And you?
Great.
This is how listening and responding work together. Next, we will make it a little harder. I will read a short weather report at natural speed. Your job is to catch the main points. Ready? Here it comes. Today in London, the weather will be cloudy in the morning. Listen carefully. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Focus on the important ideas and try to follow along. The more you practice listening to real sounds and sentences, the easier it will get. Remember, listening is a skill. Like Maria, you can improve every day by hearing, seeing, and repeating English. Start with podcasts or short stories. Watch movies with subtitles. Practice with friends online. Notice how words are used, how people greet each other, and the rhythm of sentences. Listening is not only learning language, it is learning life in another culture. Be patient, keep practicing, and step by step, you will improve. Listening is fun. It connects words, pictures, and sounds in your brain. It teaches you about people, places, and the way the world works. Follow Maria's example. Listen every day, watch movies, practice with friends, and enjoy the learning journey. Step by step, you will get better, and soon, speaking and understanding English will feel natural. Today in London, the morning will be cloudy with light rain in some areas. In the afternoon, the sun will come out and the temperature will rise to 18 degrees. Tomorrow will be warmer with clear skies and a high of 22 degrees. Let's check what we understood. What will the weather be like in the morning? Cloudy with light rain. What will happen in the afternoon? The sun will come out and it will get warmer. What about tomorrow? Clear skies and a high of 22 degrees. See how it works? Even if you miss some small words, you still understand the main information. In real life, you don't need every single word. You need the message. The more you practice listening, the easier it becomes. Soon, understanding English will feel natural, like listening to music in the background. You enjoy it and understand it at the same time. Now, let's finish this part with a short exercise. I will give you 3 small dialogues. Listen and answer the questions. Dialogue 1. A. Excuse me, what time is it? B. It's 3:30. Question. What time is it? Answer. 3:30. Dialogue 2. A. Can I have the menu, please?
B. Sure. Here you are.
Question. What did the person ask for? Answer. The menu. Dialogue 3. A. Where is the nearest bus stop? B. Go straight and turn left. Question. How do you get to the bus stop? Answer. Go straight and turn left.
Perfect.
You're doing really well. Listening to short dialogues like this helps you understand real conversations. Now, let's talk about some powerful techniques that language learners around the world use to improve quickly. You can do these at home, without a teacher, without special equipment. All you need is your ears, your voice, and a little patience. The first technique is called shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking and copy them immediately, like their shadow. Imagine walking behind someone and copying everything they do. When they raise their hand, you raise yours. Shadowing works the same way with speech. For example, if I say, I'm happy to be here, you don't wait 10 seconds to repeat it. You try to say it almost at the same time.
Don't worry about mistakes.
The goal is to match the rhythm, the sound, and the flow. When you shadow, your brain learns pronunciation, stress, and intonation naturally. Over time, you begin to sound more like a native speaker, and your listening improves at the same time. Shadowing works best with short sentences at first. Podcasts, short dialogues, or audio lessons are perfect. Listen once or twice, then repeat immediately. Don't stop for every word, just keep going. You are training your ears and your mouth together. This method is fast, fun, and very effective. Step by step, day by day, shadowing builds confidence. You notice small changes. Words become easier to understand. Sentences feel familiar and speaking starts to feel natural. The key is consistency. Even 10 minutes a day makes a difference. Pair it with watching movies, listening to podcasts, and speaking with friends, and your English will improve faster than you expect. Remember, listening is not passive. It's active. Your brain works, your mouth moves, and your understanding grows. Shadowing connects listening, speaking, and learning all at once. Maria did this too. She listened, repeated, and practiced daily.
You can do the same.
Small steps every day create big results. When I say, "I'm happy to be here," try to repeat it right after me. At first, it feels hard because your ears and mouth are working together quickly. But that's exactly why shadowing is so powerful. It trains your brain to listen faster and speak faster at the same time. Let's try it together. I will read a short text slowly, and you just repeat after me. Don't worry about mistakes. Just follow the rhythm. Ready? Learning English is fun. Again, learning English is fun. Next, I listen, I repeat, I improve. One more. Every day I get better.
How does that feel?
Maybe strange at first, but it really works. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Shadowing is best with short, simple sentences. You can use podcasts, stories, or even lessons like this one. At first, you may miss some words, but slowly your brain catches up. A great bonus is your pronunciation improves naturally because you are copying real speech directly. The second technique is repetition listening. This means listening to the same audio many times, not just once. Many learners think they need new material every day. But your brain learns faster when you repeat the same story or conversation. For example, imagine listening to a 1-minute story every day for a week. On the first day, you may understand only 30%. The second day, 50%. By the fourth day, you understand almost everything. And eventually, you don't just understand the story, you own it. You can say it yourself, use the words in other situations, and remember them forever. Let's try repetition listening with a mini story. Listen carefully. I will read it 3 times. First time, slow Tom wakes up early. He goes for a run. After running, he eats breakfast and drinks orange juice. Then he takes a shower and goes to work. Second time, same speed Tom wakes up early. He goes for a run. After running, he eats breakfast and drinks orange juice. Then he takes a shower and goes to work. Third time, a little faster Tom wakes up early. He goes for a run. After running, he eats breakfast and drinks orange juice. Then he takes a shower and goes to work. See how repetition helps? The first time you focus on the words. The second time, your brain begins to catch the rhythm and meaning. By the third time, the story feels familiar, almost like you already know it. This is how repetition listening trains your brain to understand and remember English naturally. Both shadowing and repetition listening are active listening techniques. You're not just hearing English, you're speaking it, thinking in it, and connecting it to real life. Do a little every day. 10 or 15 minutes of shadowing plus repetition listening can make a huge difference. You'll notice your understanding improving, your pronunciation sounding better, and your confidence growing. Remember Maria from the first story? She listened to podcasts, watched movies, and practiced step by step. Shadowing and repetition are her secret tools. You can do the same. Start small, be consistent, and enjoy the process. Listening and speaking English will gradually feel natural and fun. Tom wakes up early. He goes for a run. After running, he eats breakfast and drinks orange juice. Then he takes a shower and goes to work. Let's check what we remember. What does Tom drink? Orange juice. What does he do after breakfast? He takes a shower. You see, when you repeat stories, it becomes much easier to understand and remember. Now, let's make it a little more fun. Close your eyes and imagine Tom's morning. Picture him waking up, running outside, eating breakfast, drinking orange juice, taking a shower, and going to work. When you create a picture in your mind, the words stick better. Listening is not only about your ears. It's about your imagination too. The third technique is listening with emotion. What does that mean? When you listen with interest and feeling, your memory improves. Think about songs. Why do you still remember song lyrics from years ago? Because songs carry emotion. So, when you listen to English, choose topics that interest you. If you like football, listen to football podcasts. If you enjoy cooking, listen to recipes. If you love travel, listen to travel stories. Don't force yourself to study boring material. Interest is the best teacher. Let me give you an example story with some emotion. Listen carefully. Last night, I missed the last bus. It was raining, and I had no umbrella. I felt cold and wet. Then a stranger stopped his car and offered me a ride. He was very kind. I got home safely, and I felt so grateful. Now, let's check. How did I feel when I missed the bus? Cold and wet. Who helped me? A stranger. How did I feel at the end? Grateful. You see, the feelings in the story make it easier to remember. Emotion strengthens memory. The fourth technique is creating your own English environment. You may not live in an English-speaking country, but you can surround yourself with English every day. Put your phone in English. Change your social media to English. Watch YouTube videos in English. Play games in English. Even put sticky notes around your house, on the fridge, on the mirror, anywhere you will see them. By creating this English environment, your brain gets constant exposure to the language. Words, phrases, and sentences start to feel natural. You begin thinking in English without realizing it. Listening, imagination, emotion, and environment. These are 4 powerful techniques. Combine them with shadowing and repetition listening, and your English learning will improve much faster. Small steps every day add up. Listen to stories, repeat them, picture them, feel them, and live with English in your surroundings. Over time, you will notice that understanding English becomes easier, remembering words becomes natural, and speaking starts to flow more smoothly. Learning English is not just about memorizing words. It is about hearing, feeling, imagining, and living the language every day. Practice consistently, and you will see real progress, just like Maria in our first story. Every time you see or hear English, your brain is training. The more English you surround yourself with, the faster you learn. Here's a challenge. Try to spend 30 minutes a day fully in English. No translation, no switching to your first language, only English. You could watch a short video, listen to a podcast, read a page, speak to yourself, or write a short note. 30 minutes of full immersion every day is like living in a small English bubble. It helps your brain think in English naturally. Let's try immersion with a role play. Imagine you are in a restaurant in London. I will be the waiter, and you are the customer. Waiter, good evening. Are you ready to order? You, yes, I'd like some chicken, please. Waiter, would you like rice or potatoes with that? You, rice, please. Waiter, and to drink? You, a glass of water, please. Waiter, perfect. Thank you. That is immersion practice. You imagine the scene, you listen, and you answer. You can even do this alone. Talk to a mirror, ask yourself questions, and answer them. It might feel funny at first, but it is very powerful. Another important point: celebrate your progress. Learning a language is not a one-week project. It is a journey. Some days you feel slow, some days fast, but every day you move forward. If today you understood one more word than yesterday, that is progress. Smile, celebrate, and keep going. Now, let's try a longer listening passage at natural speed to test your skills. Listen carefully. 2 years ago, Sarah decided to learn English. At first, she was shy and nervous. She could only say simple sentences like, "My name is Sarah. I am from Germany, and I like music." But she practiced every day. She listened to English songs, watched English movies, and repeated sentences again and again. Slowly, she improved. Now Sarah can talk with friends online. She can order food in English when she travels. She can also understand movies without subtitles. Sarah knows that learning a language takes time and patience. She listens every day, repeats often, and never gives up. Sarah's story shows that small, daily practice makes a big difference. You don't need to learn everything at once. Just practice a little every day. Use techniques like shadowing, repetition listening, listening with emotion, and creating your English environment. Combine them with role play and imagination, and your listening, speaking, and understanding will improve steadily. Remember, learning English is more than words. It is thinking, imagining, and living the language every day. Celebrate small wins, keep practicing, and enjoy the journey. Step by step, just like Sarah, you can become confident and fluent in English. Sarah is not perfect, but she is confident. She believes that with practice, she will become fluent. Let's check what we remember. Where's Sarah from? Germany. What sentences could she say at the beginning? My name is Sarah. I am from Germany. I like music. What activities did she use to practice? Songs, movies, repeating sentences. What can she do now? Talk with friends, order food, understand movies.
How does she feel now?
Confident. Do you see the message? Patience and practice create confidence. Learning a language is about small steps every day. Now, let's take listening out of the classroom and put it into real life. What's the point of learning English if you can't use it when you travel, work, or meet people? Today, we will practice real-life situations step by step, story by story, conversation by conversation. This way, when life gives you a chance, your ears and tongue are ready. Let's start with travel because this is often the first reason people want to use English. Imagine you arrive at an airport in another country. You are a little tired. You're carrying your bags, and suddenly someone at the information desk asks, "Can I help you?" The words are simple, but if you're nervous, they can fly past you. Let's practice a travel story together. Listen carefully. Last summer, I traveled to London. At the airport, I asked for directions to the train station. The officer said, "Go straight. Turn right and you'll see the signs for the train." I followed the directions and found the train easily. On the train, I asked another passenger, "Does this train stop at Victoria Station?" He said, "Yes, it does." After 30 minutes, I arrived at my station safely. Now, some questions for practice. Where did I travel? London. What did I ask for at the airport? Directions to the train station. What directions did I get? Go straight, turn right, and look for the signs. Who helped me on the train? Another passenger. Did I arrive safely?
Yes.
You see how simple stories and questions help you practice listening, understanding, and remembering English. When you practice like this, your brain learns to follow real conversations, not just classroom exercises. Real-life listening is about catching main ideas first, not every word. If you hear, "Can I help you?" don't panic. Focus on the meaning. If you follow the directions, you succeed. Step by step, your confidence grows, and you feel ready to use English outside the classroom. Travel stories like this are just one example. You can practice asking for directions, ordering food, shopping, or making small talk with strangers. Imagine situations, role-play them, and answer questions. Even alone, this helps. Your brain trains, your ears improve, and speaking becomes natural. Remember, learning English is about practice, patience, and confidence. Listen, repeat, imagine, feel, and create an English environment around you. Real life will test your skills, and when it does, you will be ready. Who did I talk to on the train? Another passenger. Where did I want to go? Victoria Station. Excellent. That is a very typical real-life scenario. You hear directions, short answers, and you need to catch just the main words. Let's practice with a small role play. I'll be the officer at the airport, and you will be the traveler. Officer, hello.
Can I help you?
You, yes. Where is the train station? Officer, go straight, turn right, and follow the signs. You. Thank you very much, officer. Officer, you're welcome.
See?
It's simple. If you practice now, later it will feel easy and natural. Now let's move to daily life, like shopping. Listen carefully. Yesterday, Anna went to the supermarket. She needed bread, milk, and eggs. She also wanted to buy some fruit. She asked the shop assistant, "Excuse me, where's the fruit section?" The assistant said, "It's over there next to the vegetables." Anna bought apples, bananas, and oranges. At the checkout, the cashier asked, "Do you need a bag?" Anna said, "Yes, please." She paid and went home. Let's check your understanding. What three basic things did Anna need? Bread, milk, eggs. What extra did she want?
Fruit.
What did she ask the shop assistant? Where is the fruit section? What fruit did she buy? Apples, bananas, oranges. What did the cashier ask? Do you need a bag? Now, imagine yourself in that supermarket. Let's role play. Shop assistant. Can I help you?
You. Yes.
Where is the fruit section? Shop assistant. It's next to the vegetables. You. Thank you. Short, simple, but very useful. Daily situations like this happen all the time, so practicing them helps a lot. Next, let's look at work situations. Even at A2 level, you may need to listen at work. Listen to this story. In my office, we have a meeting every Monday morning. The manager says, "Good morning, everyone. Let's start." We talk about last week's work and this week's plan. Sometimes the manager asks me, "Can you finish this report by Friday?" I answer, "Yes, I can," or "I need more time." Then we continue discussing projects and tasks. Work situations are full of short questions and answers. You don't need to understand every single word. Focus on the main points: tasks, deadlines, instructions, and who is responsible. Practicing these situations improves your listening, understanding, and confidence. By combining travel, shopping, and work scenarios, you train your brain to understand English in real life. You learn to catch the main ideas, respond naturally, and feel confident. Role plays, imagining situations, and repeating exercises help your ears and your mouth work together. Remember, English is not just a school subject. It is a tool for real life. Practice small daily situations step by step, and soon you'll be able to handle conversations at the airport, in a supermarket, and at work easily. Small, consistent practice creates big results. At work, conversations are often short and clear. For example, sometimes the manager asks me, "Can you finish this task by Friday?" I usually reply, "Yes, I can." At the end of the conversation, the manager often says, "Thank you. Have a good week." These kinds of short talks happen all the time at work. There is a regular meeting every Monday morning. When it begins, the manager greets everyone and says, "Good morning, everyone. Let's start." During the meeting, the manager might ask me some questions, like if I can finish certain tasks by Friday. I usually answer, "Yes, I can." At the end of the meeting, the manager says something friendly, like "Thank you. Have a good week." These conversations show that work communication is simple, clear, and polite. We can also practice these conversations through role play. For example, the manager asks, "Can you finish this by Friday?" I answer, "Yes, I can." Then the manager says, "Great. Thank you." It is easy to follow and helps to practice speaking in real situations. Now, let's look at some small conversations in everyday life. Listening is not just about words, but also about the situation, place, and purpose. Here are 3 mini dialogues. Dialogue 1. A. Good morning. Can I see your ticket? B. Yes, here it is. The situation here is at a train station or on a bus. Dialogue 2. A. How much is this shirt? B. It's $20. The situation here is shopping for clothes in a store. Dialogue 3. A. Can I take your order? B. Yes, I'll have pizza, please. The situation here is a restaurant where people order food. Listening carefully means understanding not only the words, but also where the conversation is happening and why it is happening. This helps people respond correctly and act in the right way. Now, let's move to a longer story to practice more. 2 friends, Mark and Lisa, planned a trip to Paris. They booked their tickets online and prepared for the trip. They started from Berlin and flew to Paris. When they arrived at the airport in Paris, they needed to find a taxi. Mark asked a driver, How much is it to the city center? The driver answered, 30. Lisa said, Okay, let's go. They got in the taxi and soon reached their hotel. They checked in and left the hotel to see the famous Eiffel Tower. Mark and Lisa were very excited. They took many photos and enjoyed their time. They ate croissants and walked along the river, enjoying the view. The day was long, and by night, they were very tired. But they were happy and satisfied with their day in Paris. Some simple questions about the story can help remember details. They traveled from Berlin to Paris. The taxi cost 30 euros. They saw the Eiffel Tower and ate croissants. At night, they felt tired but happy. This shows how trips can be fun and how small conversations in everyday life, like asking for a taxi or ordering food, are important and easy to learn. Stories like this one make learning English simple. Short work conversations, mini dialogues in daily life, and fun travel stories all show that listening carefully and speaking clearly are very helpful skills. By paying attention to words, situations, and purposes, anyone can understand and join in conversations with confidence. Here's something important to understand. Real-life English is often simple, with everyday words and situations. But it can be fast, connected, and sometimes tricky. If you practice now with short stories and dialogues, you will feel more prepared when you face real situations in English. The key is practice, practice, practice. Let's try an imagination exercise to see how this works. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you are traveling tomorrow. You wake up early and take a taxi to the airport. At the airport, you check in your luggage and show your passport. You look for your gate and find your seat on the airplane. While sitting, you listen to announcements, sometimes in a fast voice. Finally, the plane lands, and you arrive in another country. During this trip, you will hear many people speaking English. There will be airport officers, flight attendants, taxi drivers, waiters, and hotel staff. Not every word they say will be easy to understand. That is okay. You do not need to know every single word. You only need to recognize the important ones. For example, listen for your gate number, the price of a taxi or ticket, directions to your hotel, or the time of a meeting. These are key words that help you survive in English. This is what we call survival English, and it is very powerful. Now we're going to push ourselves a little more. So far, we have worked with short dialogues, mini stories, and small role plays. This is perfect for building a strong foundation. But real life is not always short and simple. Sometimes you will need to listen for a longer time. For example, you might sit through a 20-minute meeting, watch a whole TV show, or listen to a friend telling a story that takes 10 minutes. This is more challenging because your brain can feel tired. Think about how your attention works. At the 5-minute mark, you might start to drift. At 10 minutes, your mind may wander. This is normal. That is why we need to train listening stamina, just like an athlete trains for a long run. Imagine running. If you run 100 meters every day, you can be very fast, but only for a short distance. If you want to run 5 kilometers, you need to train slowly, building distance over time. Listening in English works the same way. You need to practice not just short bursts, but also longer stretches of listening. Today, we will practice how to stay focused, how to divide your attention, and how to keep going even when listening feels tiring. This will help you understand longer conversations, meetings, and stories. It is normal to feel tired at first, but if you train your brain gradually, you will improve. Listening is a skill, and like any skill, it requires time, patience, and consistent practice. The key points to remember are: start with short stories, dialogues, and role plays. Then gradually practice longer listening sessions. Focus on the important words and do not worry about understanding every single word. Build your stamina like an athlete, and you will find real-life English much easier. Everyday situations, travel, work, and conversations will feel less stressful and more manageable. Step by step, your brain will get stronger and your listening will improve. With consistent practice, even fast and connected English will become clear. You will recognize key words, follow instructions, and understand longer conversations without feeling lost. And the more you practice, the more confident you will feel. Real-life English may be fast and full of surprises, but with patience and practice, you can handle it successfully. Listening to English for a long time can feel difficult. Here's the first trick. Don't try to understand everything. If you sit down with a 30-minute podcast and try to catch every single word, you will feel exhausted very quickly. Instead, give yourself small goals. Focus on one thing at a time. For example, in your first lesson, just try to understand the topic. Ask yourself, what is this about? Is it about food, travel, history, or sports? This is your first victory because even knowing the topic is already progress. In the second lesson, you can focus on details like numbers, names, times, and places. On the third lesson, focus on phrases you can repeat. By dividing your work in this way, your brain does not feel overloaded, and you can learn more efficiently. Let's practice this with a medium-length story. I will tell you a story that lasts about 3 minutes. Your goal is not to understand every word. Instead, try to catch the big picture and some important details. Here is the story. Last year, my family and I went on a road trip across Italy. We started in Rome, where we visited famous places like the Colosseum and the Vatican. The weather was very hot, and the streets were crowded with tourists. From Rome, we drove to Florence, a city known for art and history. We spent 2 days visiting museums and eating delicious pasta. After Florence, we went to Venice. Venice was magical. There were boats instead of cars, narrow streets, and beautiful old buildings everywhere. We took a gondola ride and watched the sunset over the water. Finally, we drove south to Naples, where we ate the best pizza of our lives. The trip lasted 2 weeks. By the end, we were tired but extremely happy. Now, let's look at some questions to help remember the important points. Which country did we visit? Italy. Which cities did we see? Rome, Florence, Venice, and Naples. What did we eat in Florence?
Pasta.
What did we eat in Naples?
Pizza.
What was special about Venice? Boats instead of cars, gondola rides, and beautiful sunsets over the water. How long did the trip last? 2 weeks. You can see that even in a longer story, it is possible to pull out the most important points. You do not need to understand every word to know what happened. This is the secret to improving your listening skills. By focusing on key points first, your brain can learn more without feeling tired. Now, let's talk about focus. When you listen for more than a few minutes, your brain will naturally start to feel tired. At first, it may be hard to pay attention for the whole story. You might start thinking about other things, looking at your phone, or losing track of details. This is normal. Everyone experiences this. The key is to practice gradually. Start with shorter stories and short listening sessions. Then slowly increase the time. Your brain will get stronger, and your focus will improve. Listening is a skill, just like running or swimming. If you practice every day in small steps, you will gradually be able to understand longer stories, podcasts, and conversations. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is to catch the main ideas, important details, and useful phrases. Step by step, your listening will improve, and you will feel more confident in real-life English situations. When you listen to English for a long time, it is normal for your mind to wander. You may start thinking about dinner, your phone, or something else. Staying focused can be difficult at first, but there are ways to keep your brain active and your attention strong. One very helpful method is note-taking while listening. When you listen, keep a pen and paper ready. Write down only 3 words from every minute. Don't try to write full sentences or translate everything. Just write keywords that help you remember the story. For example, if someone is telling a story about a trip to Italy, you might write Rome, Colosseum, hot, Florence, museum, pasta, Venice, gondola, sunset. These words create the skeleton of the story. Later, when you look back at your notes, you can remember the main events and details. This keeps your brain awake and engaged, instead of letting it drift away. Let's try note-taking together. Imagine I read a short lecture-style passage. Your goal is to write only 3 words every time I pause. Here's the passage. English is an international language.
Pause.
It is spoken in many countries around the world.
Pause.
People use English for business, travel, and study.
Pause.
Learning English helps you connect with others.
Pause.
It also opens opportunities for work and education.
Pause.
Your notes might look like this. English, international countries. English, business, travel. English, study, connect. English, opportunities, work. Notice that you don't need full grammar or complete sentences. Just keywords are enough to understand the passage later. This method trains your brain to focus and remember important points. Another method to build listening stamina is mixing listening with speaking. If you only listen for 30 minutes straight, your brain will get tired. But if you pause every 5 minutes to repeat something aloud, answer a question, or shadow a sentence, your brain gets a short rest and then refocuses. It's similar to running with short breaks. You don't stop, but you change the rhythm, which helps you continue without feeling exhausted. Here's an exercise to practice this method. Imagine I play the role of a podcast speaker talking about healthy living. You listen for 2 minutes and then pause to repeat one sentence aloud. The passage goes like this. Healthy living is not only about eating vegetables and exercising. It's also about sleeping well, reducing stress, and finding balance in your life. Many people focus only on diet, but sleep and relaxation are just as important. For example, if you sleep only 4 hours every night, no amount of vegetables will make you healthy. During this exercise, you only repeat one sentence at a time. This gives your brain a small break, strengthens your listening, and helps you remember key ideas. Over time, combining listening, note-taking, and speaking improves your focus and stamina. You can listen for longer periods, understand more, and avoid feeling lost or tired. By practicing these methods, you will gradually build the ability to follow longer stories, podcasts, meetings, or lessons in English. Your brain will learn to focus, catch important words, and remember details. Even when the English is fast or connected, you will be ready to understand the main points. Listening with focus, taking notes, and speaking aloud are the secrets to improving your real-life English skills step by step. Listening to English for a long time can be tiring. That's why it's important to take care of your body and mind. Your body needs rest to recover, and stress can hurt your health. That's why every day you should take time to relax, breathe, and enjoy small things. Healthy living is about the whole picture, not just one part. It's not only about eating or exercising. It's about balance, rest, and relaxation. Here's a small exercise. Repeat this sentence after me. Healthy living is a complete picture, not just one piece.
Great.
That simple act of repeating a sentence makes your brain active again and helps you focus. Repeating phrases or sentences while listening is a small trick to refresh your mind during longer exercises. Another way to build listening stamina is variety. Don't listen to only one type of material. Mix it up. Use short stories, songs, news, movies, and podcasts. Changing the style of listening keeps your brain fresh. If you start feeling bored, switch to something else. Boredom can make your brain stop paying attention faster than difficulty. Variety keeps listening interesting and helps your focus last longer. Now, let's do a longer practice to train stamina. Imagine you are in a university lecture. Listen carefully and focus on the key ideas. The topic is the history of the Internet. The Internet began as a project in the 1960s. Researchers in the United States created it. At first, only universities and the military used it. In the 1990s, the World Wide Web was developed. Suddenly, people could make websites that anyone in the world could see. This was a big change. Businesses started selling products online, and people began sending emails instead of letters. Today, billions of people use the Internet every day. We use it for shopping, studying, entertainment, and social connection. The internet has made life faster, but also more complicated. That is why it is important to learn how to use it wisely. Now, let's check some questions to make sure you caught the important points. When did the internet begin? In the 1960s. Who used it first? Universities and the military. What happened in the 1990s? The World Wide Web was created, and websites became available to everyone. What do we use the internet for today? Shopping, studying, entertainment, and social connection. What is one challenge of the internet? Life is faster, but also more complicated. This exercise shows how you can train your listening stamina by focusing on key points and understanding the main ideas instead of every single word. In this part, we learned several important strategies. Divide your listening into small goals. First, focus on the topic, then on details, and then on phrases you can repeat. Use note-taking. Write 3 words every minute to keep your brain active and remember the main points. Mix listening with speaking. Pause to repeat sentences or answer questions to give your brain a short rest and refocus. Use variety. Listen to different materials, stories, songs, podcasts, news, and movies to keep your brain engaged and avoid boredom. By combining these strategies, you train your brain to listen for longer periods without losing focus. Step by step, you'll be able to understand more, follow longer lectures, podcasts, and stories, and feel confident in real-life English situations. Listening is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice, focus, and smart strategies. Listening to English is not a sprint. It is more like a marathon. You cannot expect to understand everything perfectly right away. Instead, train your ears step by step. Gradually, your brain and ears will become stronger. Soon, you will be able to listen for longer periods without getting lost or feeling tired. If you have followed from part 1 until now, you have already practiced listening in many ways. You practiced with simple sentences, short dialogues, real-life conversations, connected speech, shadowing exercises, longer passages, note-taking, and stamina training. That is a lot of practice, and it has already built a strong foundation for your listening skills. Now, in this last part, we will connect all of those lessons to the bigger picture. Listening is very important, but it does not live alone. Listening works best when it is combined with speaking, reading, and writing. If you practice all 4 skills together with the right attitude, you can learn English much faster than you think. Let's finish strong with a full guideline for learning English clearly, quickly, and confidently. The first principle is balance. Many learners focus only on one skill. Some people read all the time but never listen. Others listen but never speak. Some study grammar but never practice it in real situations. Balance is the key. Think of your English like a table with 4 legs: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. If one leg is too short, the table is unstable. If you want your English to stand strong, you must grow all 4 legs together. Listening is the foundation because input comes before output. You cannot speak what you have never heard. But speaking is equally important because it forces your brain to use what you have learned. Reading builds vocabulary and helps you understand sentence structure, while writing makes your English precise and thoughtful. When all 4 skills grow together, your English becomes balanced, strong, and flexible. Here is a simple weekly plan you can try. Every day, spend 15 minutes listening, 10 minutes speaking, 10 minutes reading, and 10 minutes writing. That is a total of 45 minutes every day. It may not seem like a lot, but if you do it consistently, in 1 month you will have trained for more than 20 hours. This shows how small steps, repeated daily, can create big progress over time. Let's go a little deeper into each skill. Listening. You have already practiced many strategies. Listen for the main ideas, key words, and important phrases. Use note-taking and repeat sentences aloud to stay active. Listen to different materials to keep your brain engaged. Speaking. Speak as much as possible. Repeat sentences you hear, answer questions aloud, describe what you see, or have short conversations with others. Speaking helps your brain remember and use the language. Read short stories, news articles, or anything that interests you. Pay attention to new words and sentence structures. Reading helps you understand how English works and builds your vocabulary naturally. Write a few sentences or a short paragraph every day. Use new words, phrases, and ideas you have learned. Writing helps you think in English and improves clarity and accuracy. By combining listening, speaking, reading, and writing every day, you will develop a balanced and strong English skill set. You will understand more, speak more clearly, and feel more confident. Small daily practice adds up over time, and soon you will notice big improvements. Remember, English learning is a marathon, not a sprint. Take it step by step, use all 4 skills, and be consistent. If you do this, your English will grow steadily, and you will be able to use it naturally in real life, travel, work, and study.